this episode of the Weird Obscure World podcast.
I have been abducted.
Wait, what?
The main forms they take are reptilian entities.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, so today we've got fun news, and then we had an interview scheduled, but it's postponed for a minute. So we're gonna just kind of carry on as best we can.
Yeah.
The interview is coming up in a couple more days.
Yeah.
So
this week we'll cover some strange stuff anyway.
Yeah, we got Christmas upon us. It's
a crazy
coming up
time of
fast.
year. Yeah.
And all good things. All good things.
What you got for weird news today?
Well,
you got a couple, don't you?
Yes, I got a couple. So step one in weird news. A doll, her name is Dorothy.
You're seeing her on the screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Dorothy.
Yes, Dorothy is well, I wouldn't call that anatomically correct because it looks like if Dorothy was real, she would be life support for breasts and a bum and blonde hair. But so a guy broke into the shop, and we'll watch it here real quick. A guy pulls up in his van. She's a $5,000 doll.
She's a high dollar doll.
Yes.
Wow. All the plastic surgery. He's got bolt cutters.
Yeah. So he comes up with bolt cutters. See him wrestling. He's like, "Oh, good hell!
I'm coming, Doc."
He's got it against the wall.
He's
going for it. He's throwing it. Oh, made it. Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Oh,
what?
and then
He's
he breaks the window. He breaks the window. Yeah, he brings all his own implements. Yeah, look at him go. And he's doing all this with an erection. And
I got you.
There he is. He throws her in. He rescues her. Yes, it's a kidnapping. And, oh, wait, 3-point turnaround. This isn't interrupting anything.
What? Okay, all right.
I like how he's in there.
He's really getting to him.
He's spending 18 minutes with the bolt cutters, trying every configuration and direction.
He must have been in the store earlier.
Here's the best
just
part.
Fallen in love.
Here's the best part.
And it was a crime of passion.
He gets home and he's out of breath, so he can't do nothing.
He worked too hard.
He can't even get up the stairs.
I'm sorry, Dot. This will have to wait. Oh. What the crap?
Oh.
I'm glad they caught that on video. Make him famous.
Oh, yes.
Did they catch him?
I don't know.
Or is the person on the video yet to be identified?
I don't have an update for the story yet, but that's fantastic. What you got? You got an update.
Okay, so I've got one update, a couple of updates. So I talked last week about the banana that had been stuck to the wall with duct tape.
The art?
Yeah, it was an art installment. Apparently a performance artist.
How many scarves do you think that bastard who made that wore?
God.
So many scarves.
And a goofy hat.
A beret.
So a performance artist.
Skinny jeans. And an apron.
A performance artist who was at the gallery that day kind of wandering about. He said that he just was hungry. And as part of his art that day, he walked over and ate the banana. Just took the duct tape off while people watching him were watching. I mean, mind you, this banana sold for $120,000.
Oh.
So he just walked over as part of his performance art that day, peeled the duct tape off, and ate the banana. So now you would think that the original artist would be upset by this, but apparently he said it's just part of the experience, that his art is meant to be consumed.
He's okay with it. See,
Yeah.
here's the guy and
Yeah.
the banana.
See it now? Look, he's just like
he leaves the duct tape on. Pops the cap. This guy has not near enough scarves to be displayed at this art thing.
yeah, like
Oh yeah.
$120,000 piece of art now to become
Well,
his next
then
poo.
Another visitor replaced. Okay.
It with graffiti. That's what they're calling it. So
Okay, so the first one, another artist ate it, and then this is just a visitor, so he's not an artist. You can tell because he's not wearing douchey stuff. And then another visitor then replaced it with graffiti about Jeffrey Epstein.
yeah, saying Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yes, and so then it was covered up, and the art show was over because
That ruined it.
yeah, that's a.
I mean, the
that's
$120,000 price tag for this beautiful piece of art had nothing to do with
$120,000
with the way it was ruined by putting truthfulness on it.
Those.
Yeah.
All right, I got a few more.
Okay, what you got?
You ready? So, if you're looking for the ultimate in Christmas presents
for the cat lover in your life.
For the cat lover in your life.
I want that, but I don't want to feed cats with it.
Check it out. It's the Ghostbusters trap.
I just want one.
Who are you going to call?
I just want to display it. That thing is sweet. It's got the handle.
Yeah, they walk up to it and it opens up. That is awesome. Oh, yeah. It's called If Industries. Industries. And you can buy it at Geekology.
Geekology.
Thank you, Betsy.
You're putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yes, I were. But yeah, that's an awesome gift. All right.
That is sweet.
I've got one more. This comes from the Sun. Now, during the summer, we have issues with flying insects that are bloodsuckers.
Yeah. Some years worse than others. This year wasn't too bad. Last year was horrendous. The really wet years, you get a lot of mosquitoes.
Yes. Well, a man whose deadly farts can kill mosquitoes is hired to create mosquito repellent.
What does this
from his gas?
What does this cat eat?
I don't know. But I mean, he's getting paid. This guy's getting paid for his farts.
Is he married?
He was, but sadly,
she died.
Miss Betsy, would you say that name for me?
Ramirama?
Yes, Miss Ramirama.
Ramirama?
Kampala, Uganda. Says boffins have launched a study into the chemical properties of his unique trouser.
I wouldn't tell people this. I would keep this to myself. Like, I'm so toxic in the gaseous odor that comes from my behind I kill flying insects.
Well, think about it. Malaria is like the number one killer of human beings on Earth. It's killed more human beings than anything else.
He's a hero.
No one in his village has ever had malaria. So not only
he farts a lot.
Defend himself, but this man is a paragon for defense of his village in Uganda.
What?
He is known, a local barber, James Yowery, says he is known all over the city as a man who can kill mosquito with his farts.
He's a hero. He's a local legend. Wears a cape.
His farts make a fallout zone larger than that of the atomic bomb,
He's
which
lonely.
destroyed Hiroshima in 1945.
He's super lonely. No one will come near him, but they love him from a distance because he kills flying insects. He says he eats ordinary food just like everyone else.
Yeah, sure.
The hell you do. You're broken.
People take him into their house during malaria season.
Freaking kidding me.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't want to be that hero.
yes. Oh, man.
There's lots of heroes in the world, and I don't think Fart Man is the one I want to be.
Joe
honest.
is a rare breed of hero, for sure. A rare breed.
So before we get started on the show, do you remember the Area 51 raid that we went to?
I do.
Nevada's governor.
Are we going to do it again?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Nevada's governor says that the state might not reimburse 2 rural counties who are seeking disaster relief over the storm Area 51.
Was there a disaster?
No, I mean, first of all, there wasn't the crowds that they anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't any. Now, I will be the first to say that it was highly staffed with law enforcement.
Oh, there was a cop for every 3 people.
Yes, and that
everywhere we went, there was police.
And that definitely has a cost. However, I just don't think that it rose to the level of emergency relief.
It didn't seem like there was any chaos, but they do have to pay the police for those duties.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
I hope they do it again next year. I think
if they plan it and formulate it, they can get it so it's affordable. Maybe even the county can open up a ball pit or a slide and make some of the money back for last year. But yeah. So today we're going to talk about Mr. I've heard his name say a couple ways, but Mr. Basiago, Andrew Basiago.
Okay, it's definitely Basiago.
Basiago, but I've heard it pronounced like George Nori calls it Basiago.
Basiago.
Something.
Basiago. Okay.
So in the late 60s, DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Administration, something. Anyhow,
the longest acronym ever.
Yeah, they started up Project Pegasus.
Okay.
Which is space and time travel. So Andrew Basiago, whose father worked as a projects manager at something or another, signed him up for it as a child. Now, apparently, Mr. Basiago was a member of Mensa, which is a high IQ organization, way beyond me because, low IQ, they might let me shine their shoes sometime.
Project Pegasus, did they enlist the help of children?
They used children, yes.
Okay, so give me a rundown on...
That's why I'm wearing the tinfoil hat today. I don't want them to come after me.
You're protecting your childlike mind? I'm
defending myself. All defenses are in place. Boy, this thing makes your head sweat, though. I need to put a bandana under it or something next time.
A do-rag.
So in the 60s, he got signed up for this as a child. Now let's run through...
His father signed him up?
Yes.
All right. What did they do? Tell me about Pegasus.
Let me first tell you about Mr. Basiago.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Andrew Basiago's dozer. I'm sorry about my dog people.
No, we're not. She's pretty cute.
Andrew Basiago's a lawyer in Washington State.
Okay.
Vancouver.
He was a member of Mensa and he chose to go to be a lawyer?
Well, I guess that's where the money's at. I don't know. He's a writer. He
could have been anything.
He has 5 degrees. He's got a degree in something from UCLA and another degree from Columbia and
what a waste of a good mind.
To be a lawyer?
Yeah.
What if he's a good lawyer? What if he is like what's that Daredevil? He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He runs around blind and beats up bad guys. Mr. Big, I think, is the bad guy's name.
Okay. All right. Perhaps he is. I've yet to meet one, but perhaps.
I'm sure they're out there. We got a cousin that's a lawyer. We'll pretend we know some good lawyers. Anyway, so he got signed up for this Project Pegasus, which is in what was 43 when Tesla died. They got the science for this from his hotel room. The
Nikola Tesla.
yeah.
Yeah, that's been postulated. Now, his within hours of his death.
Well, we've already talked about
Yeah.
how Donald Trump's a time traveler and popping
Yes.
through time.
Yeah. So
But this guy ties into presidency also.
okay.
But we'll get to that. So, Mr. Basiago is a part of this jump program, and his first jump is from New Jersey to New Mexico.
So Pegasus was a jump program where they would jump time
And or space.
and they did it with children.
Well, of course.
Okay.
But his father jumped with him the first time.
Well, he's a responsible parent.
Yes. Well, I mean, you do it with children because, Betsy, children are our future. And we need to something and let them grow and lead the way.
Oh, that's right.
I forget the words to that song, but
I
they are our
believe
future.
the children are our future.
Yeah, who sings
Teach
that
them
song?
well and let them lead the way. It was a collaboration between many artists.
Oh, that was
Michael Jackson.
Oh, Michael Jackson was in on it?
Yes.
Yes, children are the future.
Yes.
You dirty person. So he also started a group called Mars.
His group is called Mars?
Yes, it's
Okay, so he claims
Mars Anomaly Research Society.
Or Mars.
Mars.
Look at that.
Yeah, he started a group called Mars, and he seeks to get the government to admit to their
Knowledge.
chronology. He's an environmental activist, and he says if the government just lets this out to the people, that it would save the environment because we no longer need gasoline to travel and all that other stuff.
What does that have to do with the people on Mars?
We'll get to there. So after he does this Project Pegasus, while he's in Project Pegasus, he jumps over time. He was at the Gettysburg Address.
Wow.
Yes. There's a picture of him that you can dig up.
At Gettysburg?
At Gettysburg. He says it's him. And so he was there to witness.
Is it possible to be schizophrenic and have a super high IQ at the same time?
Well, I'm sure. I mean, I'd almost think it's probable. Okay, so I'm going to pop that picture up now.
So that's him?
Yes.
Wow. The likeness is striking.
Striking. Now, when he showed
Which
up,
one?
he's this one. The story is he showed up and he didn't have proper fitting shoes. Now, Gettysburg had a big cobbler factory there or something. Part of the big deal about Gettysburg.
Okay.
And he got a pair of shoes there that were too big. See how the shoes are too big? That's his proof.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So far, I'm totally buying it.
There he is. Yeah, so he was there at Gettysburg Address. Got to witness that. He claimed he jumped back in time to the prehistoric era. There's lots of time jump claims, and he claimed he jumped into the future. So he then became a part of the Mars jump program.
Okay.
So it's like Project Pegasus moved from just time travel, and then they wanted to do more advanced space travel. So then he jumped to Mars.
And he spent time on Mars?
Yes, he spent time on Mars.
Is Mars atmosphere habitable to humans?
according to him, it's not just habitable to humans, but it's habitable to everything.
Okay.
So he then he wrote a groundbreaking paper in 2008 about it,
About his time on Mars.
about life on Mars.
Okay.
So he stated that when he went to Mars, they were told just to kind of walk around to get the indigenous Mars peoples and animals used to them, but there were also carnivorous monsters on Mars, like T-Rexes. And
So he was told to just wander?
yeah, they were
He was a child.
They were just supposed to be, well, he was like a teenager at this time. He also had a friend that was on this Mars jump with him. His name was Barry Soetoro. If that name sounds familiar,
It does.
that friend then became a president. That's Barack Obama's name.
His real name.
Well, is it his real name or just the name he used when he lived in Indonesia? I don't know. That may have been a name he used when he lived in Indonesia just so he had an easier time amongst all the people there. But Barack Obama was in with him, and he knew beforehand that Barack was going to be president. And he speaks highly of Barack. Speaks highly. And he says that he is also going to be for president. So he has concurrently ran for president in, I want to say 2016, and he's running again now. So Andrew Basiago, he is going to be our president, and he's also the president of the Mars Anomaly Research Society.
Okay.
He's seen it. He went to the future and saw
That he's going to be president.
Yes, and that Barack was going to be president, and you can listen to interviews of him talking about it.
Okay, so he's a lawyer currently.
Uh-huh.
Does he work? Is
Sure.
he ever hired?
I'm sure.
Even though
Mhm.
he's batshit crazy.
He may not be batshit crazy. What if he's right?
So
Betsy.
that's the opposite side of this pendulum, is if any of this is true.
Even Tesla invented the machine, and a couple people have used it. All of our presidents, our last two presidents, and our upcoming next president, Mr. Basiago, they've all used it. Now Trump uses it to jump back in time and predict stuff as Barron, and Obama and Andrew used it to go to Mars and visit the Martians.
Okay. Now tell me about Project Pegasus. It was a sanctioned project with the United States government. Is it theorized, or is it similar to the Montauk where there's been evidence of this found?
Well, it's talked about by Andrew Basiago.
That's it?
Well, I'll show you some evidence here in a minute of life on Mars.
Okay, because I'm a little concerned that there may have been experimental time-space warping things done to children.
Well, the way he explains it, there's like a curtain of light.
Okay.
And you walk through it, and then you're in a tunnel. And then you come out on the other side in the different space-time.
Drugs.
I'm telling you, Betsy. So he wrote this paper. I'm not going to, I read this paper.
You're not going to read it verbatim for us?
It is very clinically written, which doesn't work well with A, me reading, and B, people listening.
I like how it's got keywords, introduction.
Oh, it does. It's clinically written. It's written by a lawyer, by the way.
Yes.
Did we mention that he's a lawyer? But he talks about life on Mars. Now, it goes into the first part. He talks about this photo right here.
Okay.
That you
now, when was this photo taken?
This photo was taken in 2006, I think.
Okay, so it wasn't, this isn't a photo that he took and brought back with him.
The Discovery rover. This is the rover. Now, you see down here on the bottom, those are the solar panels of the rover.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to show you a Martian. You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Look at that right there.
Can you get closer to that?
No, that's as close as it lets me get. This is coming right off the NASA site. So I'm not even going through his. I'm going through NASA.
Okay, so that's clearly a witch.
Clearly a woman kneeling down, see her arms pointing, and right there's a guy laying down, and she's yelling at him because of his whatever Martian infidelities, according to Andrew, right?
That's the story he gave, or he's just saying that that's a woman and a man?
Yes, woman and a man laying down, but you can clearly see. Now that does kind of look like a person. Now NASA says that's just a rock formation.
I would venture to guess that, like, clouds can look like people. The shadowing and such is just perfect, that it does take on the human-like appearance. But I don't understand why the man's laying down.
Because she
is he sunbathing? Yeah, did she toss him?
In that, he's being lazy. He's supposed to do the dishes today, but he's out sunbathing.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's throwing him off the rock. Is he dead?
We don't know. Andrew postulates that he's like laying down using optics, looking at this thing. There's a couple of postulations. He doesn't know for sure. And then supposedly, right about here, there's another body. I haven't found it yet.
Okay.
This is like
Where's Waldo?
The hardest game of Where's Waldo I've ever played.
So how did Andrew do you think he just studies these?
He picked this picture apart. He talks about this picture for 7 or 8 pages.
In that thesis?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not good at the cloud game either, but I'm going to...
He said it's a guy wearing blue pants.
Blue.
Whose back is facing you, and he's reaching over like a wall, pulling someone up.
Where do you think he gets pants?
Where do you think he gets guy?
Well, I'm wondering where the guy gets his pants, because
maybe it's up here.
Because if we're just scanning,
maybe that's a thing. And then he talks about some of these rock formations are statues, and he shows that
if we're just scanning this landscape, there's nowhere to purchase pants. Do you think maybe Amazon Prime is delivering them?
I think it would be a joint venture with Elon Musk, but sure. Shooting pants and Teslas into space. See a Tesla drive by. Anyway, so
it'd have to be the new Tesla truck with that terrain.
Yeah, so Andrew goes on, then he goes on to talk about the life on Mars and, everything about that. But he talks about the different aliens he's seen there, humanoid beings. He talks about people that look just like us, Caucasians, because, obviously. And he talks about mantid like people, which have translucent carapaces.
And their joints are
they look
off.
Like mantids.
Yeah.
He talks about an octopus with a dog's face. And he talks about people
he still
with
has a license to practice law.
You're really hung up on that. Now this is where he talks about those ones on the far left. They were rather easy to find, and NASA debunked them as natural rock formations.
Of course, NASA.
Yeah, and there's their pictures there. Okay.
All right. She appears as though she's dressed. Where is she buying her clothing?
We covered that. Amazon, Elon Musk.
Okay.
It does have a personage shape to it, and that's the guy that's like laying down.
I don't understand where you see a guy in the guy laying down, but the woman standing, first of all, don't assume her gender just because she's wearing a dress, Mr. Basiago, because we live in a different time now.
Hey.
That could be a man, all right?
But if it was a man, that man would want to be called she. So go back to the woman thing, Betsy.
Listen.
He just out what do you call it? out woke to you.
Yeah,
He outwoked you. You got to get with the time now, because if that man's wearing a dress, that man wants to be called man.
What if that's skin and not clothing?
Ooh, what if they have like a skin flap?
And it's genderless because they have no sexual organs. He goes on to say that the female has multiple arms like a centipede.
Well, there's a different one.
Oh.
So, okay. Here you go down. The rock garden is a large statue of a skeleton of a humanoid with a pointy head. Somewhere in this area.
I don't see it.
Me neither. I stared at this stuff all morning today, just trying to find stuff. The worst game of Where's Waldo I've ever played.
Okay.
It's reaching out in front of him. I guess right there.
I got nothing.
Is it laying on its side maybe? Like that's an Easter Island head right there. And then laying on its side, arm poking out. Anyways, if you're listening to audio, we are sorry. This has got to be exciting.
If you're listening to the audio, you have to know that this is not going to be an easy game of Where's Waldo, but you're welcome to go to the BitChute or YouTube channel and play along.
Yes, you can also go to the Mars.
So on this
Advanced Research Study, I don't know, and look at that. He explains it there. So all these pictures he got says they're statues or people. There's another bald-headed Martian somewhere in here. Do you see it? Me neither. And maybe it's just not zoomed in close enough.
I still don't see it. I don't understand. Is he really wants people to take him seriously? Or is this a game?
That's a good question.
Is he punking us?
He's been on all the radio shows, like George Norrie and all of that.
And does he take himself very seriously? Like, or does he like laugh?
He does.
Himself?
He does take himself very seriously.
What the heck?
I know.
I'm going to have to go watch some of his interviews now because...
You are. I've listened and watched, I don't know, 15 or 20 of them, and they are very... If I was to write a science fiction, this is one of the best.
Okay.
Now, read aloud this one while I release the hound.
Okay, so this one has... He claims humanoid beings inside the rock enclosure. The humanoid in the rock enclosure on this ridge, did he name this ridge? Tsiolkovsky Ridge?
I'm sure he didn't.
Is surrounded by other
I looked and
anomalous beings?
See, he says about this rock that this rock is something.
Yeah, and that those three humanoids inside are being surrounded?
Yeah. That now he actually says in this that some animals are evolved to look like rocks.
Well, that helps his story when you produce pictures such as this one of Mars.
Yes.
Because there's lots of creatures.
Now that could be a person like kneeling down, praying.
Please don't let.
Oh, there's one laying down, like on its side. See,
please don't let these rocks attack me.
Ooh, what is that? That looks like that could be two rocks.
I can't believe he's actually. This guy's head. See the way he's buried his head in the sand.
Oh yes, ostrich.
He's an ostrich being.
There's an ostrich man. That's the name of the show, The Ostrich Man of Mars. Oh, yes.
Okay, so he's claiming that this... So it appears as
There's
though...
a man that has like a larva body and then a person's torso.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand if there's all these beings on Mars. why have they not created some semblance of living quarters or civilization? Do they wander aimlessly in the bright Mars sunlight and, I don't know, wait for pictures to be taken of themselves? What exactly is he claiming they do on Mars?
Well, there's animals on Mars. There's like a T-Rex on Mars. They run from that. And then there's like a cow on Mars that they probably milk. Ooh, what color would Mars milk be? Look, there's obviously an animal of some sort. It's like a dewback off Star Wars.
And he found all of these in that one picture?
This is all off that one picture.
So they're all like within close quarters of one another.
This guy tripped balls and then went through this picture hard. Look, there's an animal, obviously.
That's evolved to look exactly like a rock.
Yes. Now we're coming up on my favorite. This one here. Now,
Okay,
in the front of the rock garden, below where the humanoids sit, there's a filamentous creature walking towards Spirit. The species named Woofy, the Woofy, by the author, combines morphology of a sea sponge with the face of a dog.
Okay, so it looks like a lumpy rock. For the listeners,
Look at the happy dog face.
it looks like a lumpy rock with some shadows in front.
And through.
This guy definitely tripped balls when he was looking at this. He calls that a spine giraffe.
Yep, the giraffe-like head poking up. Ooh, see, look, there's Nessie. He talks about Nessie, plesiosaur. Huh? There's the plesiosaur that survived on Mars.
So is he claiming that these are alive?
Mm-hmm. This is life on Mars. Carved statues. Look, that's a dolphin, obviously.
So they run from T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
They milk cows.
Yep.
They have domestic violence.
What color is the milk? Yeah, domestic violence. Well, you know, domestic violence shows up anywhere. You know what? This right here, watch the show, folks, might be a rolling pin.
Could be a rolling pin. And then
he come home late. This is Andy.
And then they carve statues.
This is wife. Oh no, these are people. See, this is Andy. And Andy come home late from the bar, the Mars bar. And Andy's wife hit him with the rolling pin. Down went Andy.
We see no semblance of any kind of civilization, yet there are, from what he claims, hundreds of different types of species living somewhat harmoniously.
Betsy, this is a carving of a fallen woman. Do you not see that? Does that not just stand out to you? A fallen woman, Betsy.
I get absolutely nothing from that picture.
These are monolithic heads.
I cannot believe
like the heads on Easter Island, right there.
I cannot believe this guy studied law, and scored highly on his IQ test.
DARPA, this is Betsy talking right now, not Jared.
I cannot believe people would hire this guy. And seriously, he may become president.
What do you mean may?
That's the only part.
He has seen the future. All of our last presidents were time travelers. We don't know about
now
Bush and Clinton.
I know for sure that Trump was a time traveler.
Well, Trump was. That's obvious. I mean, it's
probably
clear.
Still is.
Yes. Well,
now is
I think he was as he got older. Maybe as you get taller, it's harder for you to fit through that tunnel on the other side of the light curtain.
Oh, that's why they used
So
children.
he did it while he was young, while he was little Trump. And now that he's older and too tall, he's kind of grumpy about it. But it's okay because now he lives in the White House. How awesome would it be if he put big gold Trump letters on the White House?
Like the Trump Tower.
If he made it his. You walk into the Oval Office, big gold Trump letters on the wall.
Oh.
But anyways, So there's lots of life on Mars, and he's proved it.
This is clear proof.
Mhm.
For those listening to this version of the podcast, don't get your hopes up that we are showing groundbreaking images and that you're going to go. That's a phallus, clearly.
I was going to say, that's like they went to Bangkok during the festival.
Yes.
Look,
Don't be under the impression that you're going to go find
We've got two eyes.
amazing,
Look at this. That is obviously a lion's face.
because they look like rocks.
Or maybe a sheep.
All of these.
Maybe a goat. There's the goat ear, goat eye, goat nose, goat hoofs. The goat is sleeping like a dog. Dog goat. This one.
Dog
look,
rock goat.
tell me this one did not walk there. Tell me that.
Well, he left a pretty wide swath. How big is he?
He did.
50 feet wide?
Well, he walked sideways and then he turned normal. Oh man, what is this one? He says, it's a female on the left and a male on the right.
There's nothing in this
Yeah.
photo.
Well, maybe this is the female. You've got the breasts and the legs and another rock. And
Another rock. So on this website, the Mars research website,
yes.
is there anything other than this garbage?
This is no.
That's it?
Not really.
I want to know if Mr.
Look, there's a
Basiago.
sarcophagus. Look, tell me that is not any. Look, the Egyptian head on the right. It is exactly almost kind of the same.
It is exactly almost, not even close.
What is this? Is a rhinoceros rock. Rocknoceros. Tell me, does that not resemble that? A cat face. Look, the nose.
I don't know where he's getting
eyebrow.
this from.
Look, and have you ever seen a cat roll up into the ball when they lay down?
And they look
There's the
surprisingly
cat
like
head.
a rock.
There's the cat head, and then its back goes around right there, and see its tail is curled under.
Okay, so what is his platform that he's running for president as?
Easter Island head.
The resemblance is
Fallen over rock that might be Easter Island.
this prior to carving. That's what it is.
Look, ancient writing from somewhere and blurry photo of
Ancient writing.
what? Man, this ancient writing's kind of cool though. How would it be to invent a new alphabet? All right. Something else?
Okay, so here's his promises. Okay, if he's elected, are you ready for these?
I'm ready.
He's going to open the government files on secret time travel technologies.
Digging it.
He's going to put Bigfoot on the endangered species list.
Digging it. Well, it's from Washington. They already did that. He's just going to copy their legislation.
He's going to end the cover-up of extraterrestrial visits to Earth.
Ooh, okay.
He's going to reveal...
Wait a second. In that treaty, can you write down no need to probe humans anymore?
Right. He's going to reveal the secret U.S. base on Mars and ban chemtrails.
Okay. I'm down with all that.
He promises also, with all of these other ones, to put a moratorium on immigration. And he's going to put an end to homelessness and hunger.
Put a moratorium on immigration.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what that has to do with anything else on his roster.
Like stop people from immigrating at all?
Correct.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm okay with saying, you know, we got to do it legally, but I don't see value in saying no one can do it. Tesla was an immigrant. Einstein was an immigrant.
So he has a Facebook page.
We can just say all the people who made the bomb were immigrants. But, okay.
His Facebook page is called the Facebook group of Project Pegasus. I have just sent a request.
Okay. Now look at this one, Betsy. Tell me that is not a running lizard with a thing riding its back. Tell me it's not. See its foot, 1 foot right. This thing's moving fast. That's why it's blurry.
It looks like the Roadrunner.
There's the tail. Well, it's got a lizard face though. It looks like
holy crap,
a gecko that's kind of been squished with only 2 legs. And then there's a guy it's gecko racing. They do Mars gecko racing.
He is a member of the Washington State Bar Association.
Well, yeah.
And he maintains an active law practice in Washington.
Uh-huh. Do you think they giggle at him there?
I can't believe he practices law.
I'm a firm believer. Once I saw the do-back racing, I'm in. How fast do you think that thing runs?
Well,
it's got 2 legs. I mean, it's
hauling ass in that picture.
It is hauling ass. I mean, it's cooking. You know, the guy riding its back, call it the
jockey,
a do-back jockey. Now, a do-back is the big lizard on Star Wars.
Okay, I wasn't following that.
He's a do-back jockey. I don't know why they called a do-back. It's a Star Wars thing. But
so what?
This is a crash do-back. So this is the crash gecko that Geico's gonna come and check out.
So what he's postulating in this one image is that every known animal on the planet can be found just doing what they do.
Well, this may not be. He doesn't show the T-Rex one. He talks about a T-Rex one. It's huge. It's got big teeth, and it hunts you. And people live underground in caves, by the way.
So did they have where they buy their Levi's and things? There's underground in caves?
Yes, it's Levi underground.
And where do they get the materials for Amazon Prime, perhaps?
Underground, farms that do
grow cotton
and zippers and stuff.
The Zipper Ranch.
It's just amazing.
Check
that lady out.
I don't understand.
Look, that might be something there. Look, that's one of the mantid aliens pointing at her saying, "Don't beat your husband." She's like, "That bastard came home late." Mm-hmm. Look, you see him? That shadow of that rock mantid?
He practices law, people.
He does. If I ever get in trouble in Washington State, I know where I'm going. Definitely.
And don't get me wrong, I would totally hire him.
I actually want to print this picture out and hang it on my wall. I even like kind of the weird cut of
it. Like the panoramic kind of bulby look to the side.
Some of them you can see the lines of where in some of the panoramic
where one
frame
ends. Yeah. Right there.
Like right here.
That is clearly a line that was drawn in the sand.
Yes.
Of 2 warring
now
species.
The question is, how many mushrooms, how much Indiana Jones, and then how much Star Wars do you watch? All in procession do you have to take to enjoy this? There's supposed to be something over here too.
I don't know, but I want to find random pictures
of space
and find anomalies in them now and send them to him for verification. Like, just like mail them to his law office
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
for personal
To his law office.
verification.
That is obviously look, Betsy. That is an old fallen down statue of a butt. See that? You got the cleft, you got the dimples,
I see it.
but the leg has been broken off. It's a fallen down. And look, right there, butt imprint.
Oh, it was seated there at one.
Someone, yeah, or
point.
someone sat there to look at it. And look, there's a face. Look, a frog face. It's smiling. Do you see that little frog face?
Jared,
It's a happy face.
You're putting his skill finding to shame.
I'm telling you, I am going to look. Obviously, snake poop.
I can't believe this guy practices law.
Look at this. Look at what are those little guys on Jawa? There's a Jawa. Man, I'm gonna have all the Star Wars references in one show. Oh, hold on, I just saw something. There's a person. It's watching you.
Looks like it's riding a motorcycle.
It's riding a motorcycle. They've got biker gangs on Mars. That sounds like an 80s movie. Biker gangs on Mars. Oh, man. I'm telling you.
All right, people.
One picture. Now, you go to the NASA website. It's PIA 10214. And you can look at it in a JPEG or a TIFF or whatever. But that is the picture that you will.
It'll blow your mind at all. It
will. But honestly, this is a beautiful picture. Look at the wind blown or
unhuman-like.
I mean, just the
formations.
It's beautiful. Mars looks a lot like some parts of Utah, though. That is for sure. There's a highway.
Clearly.
Yep. But Andrew Basiago, I think we need to do multiple shows on him. I want to dig in more into the actual story of his space travel.
I can't believe he does interviews. We really should try to get an interview with him.
Well, then we can't put up this show because we've just shown all the different monsters he missed.
People, I say Basiago for president 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Got it. Well, if Dad's listening, 2024, I know you like the guy that's in there right now. So,
He has no idea that Basiago he's already been foretold to be the president.
Well, see, the thing is they're all time travelers, Obama, Trump, Basiago, but Trump did it privately, where Obama and Basiago did it on the government doll. So, Trump was, free market time traveler, and Basiago and Obama were government time travelers. Wonder if they had cool suits. We're going to have to go into some of those time travel stories in another show. Yeah, there's some deaths and stuff. And then it bleeds over into the Montauk Project, which will be a future show for sure. That one I've been sitting on impatiently for the year. That is one of my favorite stories.
I believe that one's large enough that it's probably a two-part.
Oh,
a two-part series.
Is it ever?
Yes.
But yeah, this is fun stuff.
Andrew Basiago.
Yeah, he's
Is he friends with Vermin Supreme?
I don't know. I doubt it. Vermin Supreme's from Massachusetts, if I remember.
He reminds me of him.
Really?
Yes.
But Vermin Supreme, I don't think is a crazy person. I think he's.
Oh, he's crazy.
I think Vermin Supreme is an actor. Watch some of his interviews.
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
You don't think he's actually buying into it? You think he's just playing a part?
I think so. Yeah, a pony for everybody. Come on.
I was kind of hoping.
That sounds like there would be a lot of horse rape to get enough ponies for everybody. There's not that many ponies.
Oh. Hoy.
Yep.
Andrew Basiago.
Yep. Okay, remember, if you know where that sex doll is, laugh. Ask the guy how out of breath he was. Then call the police.
It's $5,000. That's grand theft sex doll.
A $5,000. What was her name? Dolly or Debbie or
Dorothy.
Dorothy. Yeah.
We're gonna call her Dot for short.
Dot.
Yes.
Is that abbreviation for Dorothy?
Mhm.
Dot. Dot the sex doll. Dot the life support for quadruple. I don't know what's. I don't know what the numerages is, but like triple X, and the gluteus maximus was massive.
Can you imagine being busted for that crime?
Front news.
Like, that's a big charge.
This hardened criminal. That's me.
Like, they put you in prison. People are like, what'd you do? I broke Dot out, man.
What are you in for? I murdered 3 men. What are you in for? 7 DUIs. What are you in for? Well,
see, I got some bolt cutters.
Don't watch the video.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the first part. It's embarrassing.
Good
Should have got
hell.
bigger bolt cutters.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Have a great week.